Hey guys, Seleno here from PlayToEarn.net. Today's video is the first part of our weekly news series, where we talk about news that happened in the blockchain gaming scene this past week, divided into game updates, teasers or announcements, and other news. For this video, we'll be talking about game updates first. So without further ado, let's get to the list. To start off our list, Kitsumon Trainers Club members get closed beta access to iOS version. The Kitsumon team has revealed that members of the Trainers Club can now access the closed beta of the iOS version of the Pokemon-like NFT metaverse via the Test Flight app. Following the release of the Android version in open beta back in August, the developers are now working on getting the iOS version in open beta as well, undergoing private beta testing first before doing so. The Kitsumon Trainers Club represents a group available exclusively to those who own a Trainers Club badge, which was awarded to players who took part in Kitsumon anniversary called Pink Moon Hunt. Those who have the Trainers Club badge will be able to mint it into an NFT at some point in the future, allowing holders to trade it on the Kitsumon marketplace found on the official website, where Kitsumon NFTs can also be bought and sold using BNB and Kmon, the core in-game currency running on the BNB chain. The game mode currently available in the mobile app is the Battle Practice mode, where players can try out their NFTs by fighting against an AI in 2D gameplay. The next one is called Hunter Moon and will start on October 9th at 3 PM UTC. Only whitelisted NFT holders will be able to participate, with whitelisting set to close on October 8. Kitsumon raised $10 million in a Series A round led by NFX this year, while partnering with Sweatcoin in July this year. Next, Shiba Eternity is now available in Australia. The Shiba Inu team has announced that their mobile card game, Shiba Eternity, is now officially available for download in Australia on Android and iOS devices. Those who are living in Australia can head to the Google Play Store or Apple App Store and try out the blockchain title according to the team's recent tweet. It first launched there on the Apple App Store during the weekend, followed by the Android version this week. This marks the second country that gets to test out the game earlier ahead of its global release that is scheduled for Q1 next year. The first one to get their hands on a collectible card game was Vietnam, while a launch in Indonesia has also been teased, but does not seem to be available yet at the time of this recording. Those who were able to attend this year's Gamescom also had a chance to try out the game. Shiba Eternity is a mobile trading card game made by Shiba Inu Games LLC in partnership with PlaySide Studios. Players get to create decks from hundreds of different 2D collectible cards to play with against friends, and competitively against others in 3D arenas called dojos. Next, CyBall launches Reborn version 1.2. CyBall has released Reborn version 1.2 last September 20th. The previous version was released in August and saw many players participating in games. However, the game team noticed certain flaws and has made improvements in the new version. In this new version, players will get to use serum in-game. However, once a serum has been deposited into the game, it will expire 30 days from when it was deposited. Players can use the inventory screen to customize a serum or remove it from the game. This version offers better gameplay features than the previous version. They include a replay feature that players can use to enter and exit penalty screens without the need to leave the replay, 3 new background music for matches, new background music for the custom room lobby, and new background music for replay. Players can now also customize their team names instead of sticking to the default names. The custom room code can now be hidden for streaming purposes, and PsyPower will undergo updates to show the effects of exhaustion tactic cards. The game team has removed its support for CyBall Classic as it will no longer be available. The upcoming version 1.3 is already in the works, and players can use the spectator mode to watch matches until it is released in November. Next, Fancy Birds rolls out improved auto feed, power-ups, open public beta, and more. Polygon-based player entitled Fancy Birds has just delivered a stream of in-game updates. This includes the improved auto feed, mass crafting, and the launch of Fancy Birds Skywars open beta with new power-ups. Starting from now, players can mass feed all of their NFT birds, regardless of whether they are rented out or not. This is a much welcome feature, especially for guild owners with tons of fancy birds in their inventories. Players can earn FNC tokens from daily quests by feeding their birds on time. With the mass crafting feature, players no longer need to craft potions or power-ups separately in the game. They just need to prepare all the necessary resources and choose all the items they want to craft at once. However, crafting chances still apply. There's a 90% chance that a crafting attempt will be successful, and a 9% chance that crafting will fail, resulting in players losing all items used to attempt the craft. Holders or renters of Fancy Birds can now also access the Fancy Birds Skywars beta, which started on September 20th. Fancy Birds Skywars is a new multiplayer PvP title from Fancy Studios. In every match, up to 10 birds will shoot at each other to get the highest score before the game ends. And lastly, there are also 3 new power-ups in Fancy Birds Skywars, which are the Feeble Stick Shield, Sturdy Wood Shield, and Guardian's Shield. If you're liking this news list so far, remember to check out our website and news section to be updated on everything about blockchain gaming. Now let's get back to the video. Next, Pegaxy launches new race mode, Pledge Racing with entry fee in Biz. After launching the Crown Pega feature, Team Pegaxy is back with some updates to the game. This time, the standard racing mode in Pegaxy has been replaced with a new one called Pledge Racing, in which players must pay an entry fee in Viz to enter the race. All fees will be accumulated into a prize pool, with a portion of them being burnt. After that, the remaining Viz will be given out as prizes to the winners of the race. The better the Pegas breed, the higher the entry cost. However, the number of rewards increases significantly with a bigger prize pool. Drop racing also requires players to pay a flat fee of 60 Viz to enter the race. The fee is the same for all Pega classes, and there will be no changes to the drop racing energy system. What this means is that there will be no more free racing in Pegaxy. And Viz, the primary reward token of the game, has one more extra utility apart from being used for breeding, crafting, or fusing. To pay the entry fee, players will need to move their on-chain gold Viz tokens off-chain. Upon going off-chain, they will turn into silver locked Viz tokens, which are only usable for race entry fees in the game. With the introduction of race entry fees, Pega owners and renters must agree on how to pay such expenses. A few examples are public rent, paid rent fee, and direct rent. Up next, Blast Royale releases new update and brings back deathmatch mode. The new update comes with a host of new features. There's now a new game mode rotation system, and with it, the return of deathmatch mode. Players can now choose to play various different game modes using mutators. There are 3 mutators at the time of this recording: Speed Up, Healthy Air, and Quick Specials. A leaderboard screen can now be found in the main menu, showing the players with the highest amount of trophies which can be earned by winning ranked matches. Speaking of ranked, the developers have decided to lower the requirement of players for a ranked match from 20 to 10. Room hosts now also have a new option available that allows them to kick players from the lobby during the matchmaking screen. And equipment items now have 2 new stats: attack range and pickup speed. Various balancing changes have also been made to weapons, crates, and more. For a full list of changes included in the new update, take a look at the official patch notes. An early access version of Blast Royale is currently available to whitelisted players, while a beta launch is scheduled for Q3 this year, followed by a public release in Q4 this same year, the same quarter in which the Polygon-based PlayToEarn title will also become free to play. Up next, Metasoccer brings new updates to the training features a few days after its integration. There are minor changes to the age implications. This will increase the difference among training players having different ages. Due to this, younger players will experience better improvements. The players will also experience some improvements due to changes in the abilities distribution, particularly in the distribution to balance. Due to these changes, players will see fewer increases in mental or physical activities, but they will observe improvements in their technical and tactical abilities while playing. The Metasoccer team also added training tokens to the gameplay. These tokens are an in-game asset, with the main purpose of allowing players to access different drills. The training tokens will accumulate in the user's wallet, appearing next to the MSU and MSC tokens. By clicking on the plus sign next to the tokens, the player will gain access to the store and exchange the training tokens for new abilities. At present, players can only buy the training tokens from the marketplace in exchange for 50 MSC. The development team is working on creating new ways for players to earn training tokens. These tokens will allow players to buy new types of training exercises. These include attack, defense, mental, and physical. With this, users will be able to view the cost per player of these drills. They can view the special skills players possess and what will be the added percentage of improvement. By adding the skills and drills in the training sheet, users will be able to see the training tokens required. At the end of the training, players that have undergone training will have better skills and abilities. Up next, Kitsumon breeding is now officially available. The developers of Kitsumon, an NFT game consisting of MOBA PvP modes, lands, and more, have announced the official mainnet launch of the breeding feature. Owners of Gen 0 Kitsu eggs can now hatch their eggs and select 2 Kitsus to breed on the breeding page of the game's official website, creating a new 3D NFT whose body parts are a combination of its parents. The chainlink verifiable random function is used for the breeding process, as 2 genes from every body part are randomly chosen and passed on to the new NFT. This will thus have an effect not only on the visual look of the new Kitsu, but also on the abilities it has. Aside from needing Matic to cover transaction fees, players also need 1 Infinity Potion every time they want to breed a new Kitsu. These potions can be bought over at the potion sale page, with potions being sold in batches. The prices of these potions will increase as more batches get sold out over time. With the launch of breeding also comes the release of Kitsu decks, a page showing detailed information on every hatched Kitsu you own, while letting you view them using a 3D viewer that also works in the marketplaces as well as on OpenSea. Up next, Revoland shares details on Bounty Race ranking. Revoland has announced that its racing event will run from September 22nd to 28th. In this event, adventurers must participate in 100 rewards contests and have a 50% winning rate before they can share a part of the prize pool of 3,000 lands. The reward ranking is as follows. When players log in, they will see a pop-up window showing the game's rules. Players can check the event icon on the main page for the number of games they have finished and their winning rates. After the event, the rewards will be distributed via in-game email, and players must claim them on time. And lastly, Walk-in app releases fresh updates, introduces ranking system and Wheel of Fortune. Walk-in has announced the addition of new features to its Web3 move-to-earn game. To make the game more immersive, the team has decided to add new features to the game in response to the community's request for additional gem utility. Players will be ranked according to their achievements and activity in the game. To qualify for one of the 10 ranks, players must meet specific requirements in Walk-in's gameplay mechanics and activities. The higher the rank, the more challenging the requirements. The ranking system will allow active players to monitor in-game progress, set goals for the future, adapt to the in-game strategy, and view results. This will motivate players to progress and score higher with excellent bonuses and advantages. Players with higher rank will be able to win more valuable prizes on the Wheel of Fortune, including gems, mist berries, and walk-in tokens. The player's current rank will be displayed in the setting, and the new player's rank will be at 0. The rank is dynamic, therefore, players must consistently meet the requirements to retain the rank. Requirements for ranking includes account age, NFT Cathlete ownership, NFT item ownership, minimum average walk-in balance for certain days, number of Genesis Cathletes, average steps per day, average competition for 7 days, and Cathletes at level N and above. Sold and quarantined Cathletes will not be accounted for. And that's a wrap for today's news video. I'll be back tomorrow for another news video about our next topic group, sneak peeks, teasers, and announcements. And for more info on everything about blockchain games, check out our website at PlayToEarn.net, where we have the largest database of games that have all the info you need. That's it for today, see you next video.